Let me tell you a story. The victim's skull is broken across the left parietal bone and presents several scratch marks with a peculiar characteristic. The marks only appear on the internal surface of the bone. Though their marriage was on the rocks, Jess was shocked to come home to a suicide note in her living room. She failed to hear the footsteps creeping up behind her as she noticed the name signed on the bottom was hers. When I got home and saw that the Halloween decorations were up, I was ecstatic. But as I got closer to them, I started to wonder where that foul stench was emanating from. After months of looking, the police declared the search for my son a failure. I hate their useless effort. I even buried him in an obvious spot to make it easier. Making the 13th installment in his winning streak, the lawyer worked tirelessly and got his client acquitted of all murder charges. He didn't appreciate the thought of someone else taking credit for all of his hard work. I ran my fingers through her soft, luscious hair. It smelled so intoxicating, almost orgasmic. I'm so glad I scalped her before burying the rest of her body. My greatest fear was always being buried alive, scratching and clawing at the lid of the casket knowing I was going to suffocate. Until I was awoken by the sound of the crematory furnace door clicking shut. It's getting colder and colder in my home all of a sudden. I hope it gets warmer outside once I'm born. The voices in my head finally stopped. After almost 16 years, they're gone. I feel lonely. They said that after I killed my parents, they would come back. Why would they lie to me? You guys like bumper cars? Dad asked me and my little brother. As he lets go of the steering wheel and closes his eyes, our car drifts slowly into oncoming traffic. An angel told me I'm going to wake up in a couple of days. I must find a way to tell my family to not unplug the machine today. The babies are never quiet and they never sleep. It's been 20 years since the fire in the nursery of the closed down hospital. A guy just ran up to me while screaming that somebody had locked him in a basement, blindfolded him, and starved him for days. You should have seen the look of absolute horror on his face when he recognized my voice. Not for the first time, I came home to find the ghost of my dead mother sitting in her favorite chair. This time, she was nodding at me and patting the chair next to her, right before the chest pain started. Be careful when you pray, sweetie, my grandma said. God is not the only one that can hear you. I woke up to the same morning of October 18th every day, same time, and same date. When I finally took advantage of it and took out my insanity by slaughtering my loved ones, I went to sleep and woke up on October 19th. My brother has recently been hard at work attempting to lose weight, so when I saw a shooting star, I wished my brother would lose 10 pounds. The next morning, I learned he had gotten in a horrible car accident and the paramedics had to amputate his arm. "Daddy, when's Mommy coming home from work?" my daughter asked me as I served her favorite dinner. "Oh, sweetie, Mommy is a lot closer than you think." My mother entered my room after hearing weeping and reassured me that there is no such thing as monsters. I don't know who or what she was talking to, because I've been hiding under my bed for the past 3 hours. My girlfriend left me a note saying that she was leaving me and moving away to start a new life. Isn't it convenient when your victims give you the perfect alibi for their murder? My girlfriend said she couldn't get in the mood because the little flashing red light was distracting. She then unplugged my ventilator before she began to disrobe. I signed up for a horror-themed subscription box. I had to unsubscribe after the first box though, because it was full of pictures of me around my house. My phone rings, and when I answer, I hear the annoying automated sentence of, "Hi, I've been informed you were recently in a car accident." I throw my phone under the back seat in frustration, taking my eye off the road for a second. Then suddenly my car is filled with the glare of headlights, and all I can hear is the screeching of truck tires. At our Thanksgiving, we always serve the oldest family member first. Their meat tends to dry out if you don't. I could never understand why, from the day she was born, my daughter would cry and scream when my husband tried to hold her. It was only after she learned how to talk that I learned she was the reincarnation of the woman he killed. When the genie asked me what I wished for, I told him the only thing I wanted was to be loved. And here I am, 3 months and 7 STDs later, putting a gun to my head. We were playing Hansel and Gretel, and Sissy was the witch. This was not the answer I expected when I walked into the kitchen and asked my children what that horrible smell was. My wife just told me she's pregnant. I'm confused because I don't know who lied. My wife, the doctor that told me I'm sterile 2 years ago, or the coroner that said she was dead. I finished my final perfect pirouette to thunderous applause. If only I could speak and tell the little girl who owned my music box of the living hell I was trapped in. "Honey," I called to my husband, "could you get the fake blood from the basement so I can decorate the bathroom for Halloween?" I asked him. I'm glad he still thinks it's fake. I did as you said and tied up all the customers, then let you do the same to me. So please, just take the money and leave, I pleaded. The man in the white mask pulled out a knife from the back pocket of his suit and said, "Whoever said that I came here for the money?" "You're not my daughter," she said, staring deep into my eyes. "But we can change that," she continued cheerfully, a huge smile growing on her face as she brought the scalpel down. "Aw, you and your little brother look so cute together," she said as she buries both of our lifeless bodies in the backyard. "Oh my God, it's so real. I swear these monsters' eyes do feel like jelly." When I took off my VR headset, I saw my sister laying there with her eyes gouged out. My starving dog started chewing the soft parts. I wasn't dead. I was paralyzed. Here's a bonus. As our baby began to cry, my wife and I sleepily argued over whose turn it was to comfort him. Our stomachs dropped when we heard an unknown voice through the baby monitor say, "Don't worry, I'll get him."